Welcome back. I know I mentioned a couple times that it was a Thirsty Thursday, and I am thirsty, so this is the segment of the show where I start drinking. I'm going to have a cocktail now because when you got a guy like Jeff Lichtman in the studio with you, and you want to talk about all the legal wranglings and ramifications going on in Washington.
He can get you off on drinking and driving, Charlie.
I sit back and shut up and let him talk. Frank's going to join me, though, right?
I suppose so, yes.
You stay sober. So I've been calling the impeachment process like kabuki theater. Everyone knows we've had Columbia professors on here say there's never been a president ever removed from office. The Republicans have the Senate. It's just a big show.
Well, it's obviously an effort to denigrate him, to erode his support in anticipation of the election, which is less than a year away. So that's all this is. There's no chance we're going to get a successful removal of office. You know, Trump. The problem with Trump is that you want to support him. You like him, you like where he comes from, but he'll just do one stupid thing after another. I mean, this whole thing was because he was afraid of Joe Biden. I mean, Joe Biden, his teeth are falling out of his head, his eyeballs are popping out. What are we afraid of? So Trump does something, I don't think it's worthy of taking him out of office. It's idiotic. But that's Trump's charm, I suppose.
Right. It shouldn't ultimately the voters be the ones to decide.
You want to impeach him?
This is easy.
Next November, 2020, you can remove him. It's never going to happen again. You know why they're doing this. The country has become so partisan that it's sad in a way that we can't even get together on an issue as important about whether a president is fit. Very sad.
Take a look at the two front pages of the New York Post and the Daily News today. Right. So quid pro no, and what more do you need? These papers are ostensibly covering the same hearing yesterday and have two radically different takes on what actually happened.
It's nice to see that the Daily News is still in business, though, because I was unsure if they were. And the Post, I mean, you could literally, put this in your bird cage, and it's got about the same level. The level of journalism has gone down. It's also completely partisan. It's really sad what's happening with this world today. It shouldn't be this way in this country. We're the most powerful country. And Trump, who I support, even though I hold my nose as I support him because I think, frankly, he's an idiot. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to vote for him or support him. He's one that we desperately need to be mature, to galvanize young people to vote for him. Because let's say he wins in 20, John. What's going to happen in 24? We're going to get AOC is going to be our president.
Yeesh.
You're going to get taxed at 98%. And let's say it's not AOC. It's going to be Elizabeth Warren. It's going to be one of these maniacs. It's going to be Bernie Sanders if he's still even alive. These people are talking about taxing 4% federal additional tax so that we can pay for the medical insurance for illegals if you make more than $29,000 a year. This is what the Democrats are saying. So Trump needs to understand it's not just about himself in 20. It's about going forward in 24. 28, 32. He's got to do more than he's doing.
Some have said that he's going to do like Mike Bloomberg and pay off a number of people in the Senate so that he can run for a third term.
It's not going to happen. I'll be honest, it's not going to happen. I'll be shocked, frankly, if he can last 8 years because the bombardment that he's taking, a lot of it is
coming daily.
No, but I've also never seen a presidential candidate who deserved and caused so much of it on his own. You're right. He's taken more abuse, but if he would just sort of start the day. He doesn't have to tweet, 5 misspelled words by 5:15 in the morning. It's hard to watch. You want to support him and you want him to do the right thing, but like as I said, when Iran is attacking, our property, they're attacking our allies all over the Middle East, not just one or two, and you have Trump come out and say, well, we're not going to do anything because I don't want to hurt any members of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. These are the worst killers, the worst Muslim terrorist killers on the planet. Kill them, we should kill them all.
Let me take advantage. I want to make clear that Jeffrey's comments represent solely himself, not necessarily the editorial view.
I'm with him.
Don't be afraid.
I'm with him.
Listen,
trust me, I'm with him. Frank's
we're
always got
here
to do
be, you know what the
all
problem
these
with you
newsy
is?
disclaimers. I'm with him.
You're right. I'm going to move my seat a little closer to you. The problem with Frank is that he's very Curtis Lewish, and it's sad. Is that he's constantly trying to please everybody around them, both sides, because he thinks that if he pleases both sides, he'll be able to get work, he'll get patted on the head, he'll be able to pay off the 16 ex-wives with the 38 children that he's had, Curtis does. And this is what you do. You don't have to. Take a stand, be a man, and do what's right.
You can't be Switzerland your whole life. You wind up being Swiss cheese.
I'm not Switzerland.
It's no good.
I'm not Switzerland.
Give me a single reason why we shouldn't be taking out the Revolutionary Guard, who have killed so many Americans.
I'm all for regime change in Iran.
Forget regime change.
Okay,
Bug not killing them.
So I'm talking about our fundamental fight against ISIS, right, which is an existential threat to the United
ISIS
States.
is
ISIS is a
dead.
concept at this point.
Well, so in part because
Science
in
project.
addition to the United States and Bashar al-Assad, the people that have been most diligent in fighting ISIS have been Iranians,
Are you
haven't
like
they?
supporting Iran right
I'm
now?
not supporting Iran.
Seriously, what are you, like a double agent? What are you, like Samantha Power or John Kerry? I'm going to check to see if you even have gonads down there. Do you have any rubber gloves?
All right. Before Jeffrey gets us thrown off the air, but no, thank you, man. Appreciate your help. Come
Anytime.
down anytime. Come on.
Well,
You're
in
actually
10
fun.
seconds,
And, I need your help sometimes
yes.
because he's always there trying to Switzerland.
I understand, I understand.
You
In
can't
10
be
seconds,
Finland,
Jeff,
Denmark,
give
and
us a
Switzerland
prediction
all in
on
one.
where you think this whole Netanyahu indictment ends up.
Look, I think at some point Netanyahu has to realize that he needs to go. And it's not just because he's been indicted, but he's been completely ineffective in stopping the growth of Iran on the borders, Hamas and Hezbollah's arsenals. The guy's done nothing for Israel. We need new blood.
All right.
Great. Dr. Darren Porcher is going to come up next, and we're going to be talking about little Mikey Bloomberg's apology for stop and frisk. He changed his principles that he stood on for the last 20 years so he can get on the big boy roller coaster. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back at you right after this with more Liquid Lunch.